Hello my friends and welcome back to Brotato. Hope you're all doing well. Today we have a brand new update that's launched into beta, which we're going to be checking out. So as you may know, a new company, Evil Empire, has taken over Brotato updates, and they've just launched into beta an update that includes a bunch of new items, a new weapon, and a bunch of quality of life changes. So I'm very excited to see new updates to this game, and we're going to check out what they've done today, and unlock as many of the new items as possible. So firstly, let's take a look at this codex, which I think is a really cool feature that they've added, because this is going to show you in-game information about enemies, and about items and about weapons that was previously only available either by diving through the code or on the third-party wiki. Having this information in-game is going to be super helpful for the characters, or for players, because you just get information about how the enemies are going to act and what stats they have and so on. You also can get information on weapons and what they look like at different tiers, which I think is pretty cool. I will say equipped, so maybe some proofreading is needed here. There's definitely a few things, more informations on this enemy. So there's a couple spelling and grammar errors. Obviously, this is an early beta, so hopefully these will be ironed out. But I will be pointing out these things as we go through. But I really like the idea of showing in-game information. There's also a bunch of new items that we can unlock. I've already gone ahead and unlocked one because the hourglass here requires us to restart a wave in the middle of a run, and that seemed like it wouldn't be that fun to do as part of a video, so I just did this one offline. But the hourglass lets you decrease the current wave count by 1 and start the next wave with 1 HP. So you basically get to farm one wave twice if you get the hourglass. I think that that's a really cool item. There are times where you're going to want it and times where you don't. Being able to maybe repeat an elite and get a second level 4 item, I think would be really cool as well. So the hourglass, I think, is a really interesting item. I don't know how powerful it is, but it's really cool, and I think that this is a really neat addition to the game. Let's look at the other ones that we're going to unlock, and I don't know what these are yet. I haven't looked at what they are like yet. So, win a run in Danger 3 or more, we'll be able to unlock whatever that is. Win a run without locking any items in the shop. So we're going to try to do this without locking anything. Which means that when we actually jump into the run for unlocking these items, I won't be locking any items. Collect 100 fruits while at maximum health. The easiest character to do that on is probably the farmer, although the explorer is also a good option, as is the cryptid. And I just did a farmer run, so maybe I'll do explorer to get the 100 fruits while at maximum health achievement here. Kill 30 enemies by burning them in a single wave. Okay, well, we can do Explorer with burning damage. Reach 70% dodge. That, I don't actually know if... Do we have to be the ghost or the cryptid in order to unlock this? Or can any character that just buys 70% dodge, even though they're capped at 60%, unlock it? So maybe we should look at doing the cryptid and then reach 100% crit chance. Okay, so I think we'll try to do a cryptid run in order to collect 100 fruits, not lock anything, reach 70% dodge, reach 100 crit chance, and burn 30 enemies all in one run. We'll do our best to do that. If it doesn't work out to do it all in a single run, then so be it. Let's go ahead and jump in, and we will play the cryptid. Where is the cryptid? I always forget where cryptid is. It's the cool looking one. Here we go. And actually, do I want to play Crash Zone, or do I want to play Abyss? Let's go ahead and play Abyss. I think that'll just be more fun overall. And then I need to hit crit chance. I need to burn stuff. And we don't have any elemental options by default on the cryptid. So let's go with Thief Daggers, and then we'll try to burn stuff afterwards when we are using our Thief Dagger. Okay, so we parachute in. That's new and kind of cool. Although it is weird that we parachuted into the Abyss. It does make it very clear that we're the bad guys here. Because we're definitely the aggressors against the aliens. I'm not going to worry about picking up consumables at full health yet. We'll be able to do that later on. So let's go ahead and re-roll, and we will take I'm looking for harvesting here, so I'm going to roll a couple times. You can always roll a few times on the cryptid because you start with a lot of extra money. Unfortunately, I missed a bunch, so let's just take 5% damage and make sure we can kill stuff. We'll take the Thief Dagger. We'll not lock Gentle Alien or Plant, right, because I can't lock items if I want to unlock that item. So these are great items, of course. Plant and Gentle Alien are amazing for our character. So do I buy them and get our Thief Daggers later, or do I skip them since we can't lock them? Feels really bad to skip these two, but I think we have to because Thief Dagger just requires you to get it in multiples in order to be an effective weapon. Scared Sausage, I'm going to pass on as well, although I do want to burn enemies. We'll do that later with an incendiary turret or something. And I'm going to focus on getting our economy online first, and then we're going to go ahead and... Oh, I shouldn't have rerolled there since I'm not allowed to lock items. Kind of hard to refactor my thinking to the fact that we can't lock items here. So I'm going to break at least one tree, and then we can pick up a consumable while at full health. I hope crates count. As the cryptid, you will almost always transition in the late game to a luck-based economy where you break the trees and then end up getting most of your items by the crates dropping from trees. With Thief Dagger, it's a little different because we'll get a lot of money from those as well. I will take the Peaceful Bee. We want to hit 70% dodge. And before harvesting is good. Losing a melee damage is bad. I will say I like the icons here, but it led to some weird spacing on, like, the Peaceful Bee had some weird line breaks, and it does look like they've shrunk the text here, and I would like to see that increased as well. I like what they're going for here, but I do want to see... I think that the way that this looks currently... Oh, I do love this sorted by thing, though. Sorted by obtaining rarity and name for items, so you can see items really quickly. That's very cool. I do think that the fact that it is showing us more information, we've got these little icons, those are good for quality of life, is great. I will say that for me, it does lose a little of the visual elegance of the previous design, and so I would like to see... hopefully, I think honestly just increasing the font sizes would go a long way. So that's my feedback. And this is a beta, so I assume that they are looking for feedback, especially from, experienced players. And I am going to be offering it in the hopes of making the game the best that it can be. So I'm going to go ahead and kill a tree there, get a crate, and pick up that consumable while at full health in order to hopefully improve. Yeah, so like this, for example, the icons seem to be causing some weird line breaks on Peaceful Bee. Increasing the font size there would help, as well as fixing these line breaks, because right now it does look like a little bit awkward to me. Here I'm going to take some attack speed. We're fine on harvesting, so I want more defensive stats to stay at full health, and attack speed is a defensive stat because it's going to mean that we aren't getting hit by enemies as frequently. And then I'll take 2 armor as well. We're going to pick up the Scar here. I don't want to reduce my crit chance because I need to hit 100% in order to fulfill my obligation to the achievement. But another Scar is great. Feather, I think I will take as well because we're trying to build dodge. And so we have the 70% dodge cap on cryptid, so you want to build dodge anyways, and we're trying to build it for the achievement. Here, I'm going to take the tree and, again, not lock the cute monkey. I feel like the chances that I accidentally lock an item during this run where I'm attempting to not lock any items are basically 100%. So... maybe we'll make it through and get the achievement, and maybe I won't, and if I don't, then I will try to do it offline. Okay, I took a lot of damage there. That was pretty bad. Try to stay... we should be able to stay at full health due to the extra regen that we get from being the cryptid. And the other thing I don't know is, does it count for the achievement when we pull in a consumable at the end of the wave, or do we have to step on it at full health during the wave? But I guess we'll find out later. We'll take the movement speed, and then here we're going to take 9 max HP, make sure I have high max HP. I'm going to pass on the sharp bullet again, or pass on the sharp bullet because we don't have any ranged attacks yet. Although if I got a pocket factory, sharp bullet would be pretty good, but we don't have one currently, so we're not going to build around that currently. Chameleon, even though we do want to build dodge, is just too inefficient here. I mean, we get the 3% dodge from the feather for less than a third of the cost, although it obviously comes with downsides. We'll buy the Thief Dagger. I currently have no consumable healing, but I think I will still buy Alien Worm. I do want more HP, and I want more regen, and then we're going to roll here. And again, I can't lock these items, and I do want this entire shop, so I need to prioritize. If I buy the level 2 Thief Dagger, I would not be able to buy anything else other than the Thief Dagger. So I could buy both weapons. I could buy Scar and one of the weapons or the Weird Food. I think I'm going to buy the Scar, even though I have a bunch of XP gain. Getting this much XP gain early is really nice. And then let me buy the Weird Food, because right now our consumable heal is very low. So we're not upgrading our weapons there, which does feel bad, but I think that the items were a higher priority. I do want to find some melee damage, so that our Thief Daggers actually kill stuff. But that's not something that I'm desperate for currently. And I kill trees until I get a crate here, at least. We're making enough money off of our Thief Daggers that I don't have to worry too much about the income from trees. And the free items from trees are really valuable, so we're going to try to maximize those. Later on, we're going to end up killing all of the trees. I'll take the Tyler here. This is a way to break trees that will work well later on. And then I'm going to go ahead and take 8 harvesting just because it's a really convenient harvesting upgrade. We'll buy the Thief Dagger. I'm not going to take the Piggy Bank. We don't want to save money on this character. We'll definitely take the Jerky. That makes picking up consumables at full health, which we want to do for the achievement better. And then we're 3 short of the lure. So I could recycle a Thief Dagger here and then buy the lure. That's an option that we do have in order to get some regen and get the 2 loot aliens. I think I will actually do that. It's not efficient, but I think we'll be able to kill the loot aliens, especially if I can pull them through the Tyler, which does a lot of damage. And we should be able to replace our Thief Dagger before too long. And I want the regen as well. Okay, we're breaking a lot of trees here, because all the trees spawned on top of the Tyler. Let's go ahead and run after this loot alien and see if we can get it. We have enough critical hits that maybe we should be able to get the kill on it. Got one of them. Can I get the other one? I don't mind taking some hits here. We've got good regeneration. It doesn't look like we're going to get the other loot alien because it did run away from me. Okay, no, I got it. Now, the Jerky does make it harder to pick up consumables at full health, assuming that the end of the wave consumables do count. Because, as you saw there, we pulled in a bunch, but the healing was all over time, so they weren't at full health. I'm going to take the 10 crit chance here. We'll take 12 HP, and then we'll take 4 regeneration. The percent damage is also nice, but I think the 4 regen is going to be more valuable. And now I'm going to take a lumberjack shirt, and we'll buy a propeller hat as well. And the high luck there is going to let me get more crates when I kill trees. Okay, Black Flag is worth it, although I am going to need a lot more damage output now, because we're going to have a lot of cursed enemies. We still only have 5 weapons, so I need to fix that as well. But the Black Flag is going to be so much money that it's still worth buying. Oh, that's interesting. Our Tyler... Okay, it wasn't attacking the tree. It waited to attack until other enemies showed up there. I don't know if that's always been its behavior, or if that's something that's new. Killing this loot alien is going to be pretty difficult because this is a healer wave, so it's going to get a bunch of HP whenever it passes near one of the healers. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm just going to try to stay full health, break trees for the cash. When we have double bag as well, breaking trees is really efficient because we're very, very likely to be able to get income off the bags. We'll take the lemonade here, and I'll take sharp bullet now because it showed up for free, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that. We'll take 7% crit chance, try to get to 100 here. I'll buy the dangerous bunny, I'll buy the feather. I could buy scissors just so that we have another precise weapon, but I think we can get away with rolling past that for now. We'll take corrupted shard and gambling token and then roll. All right, here we go. We got thief daggers. I can't buy both, right? Yeah, I could only buy one thief dagger here, unfortunately. And again, I can't lock items unless I've done that already and just out of, you know, years of habit and then simply not noticed that I had done so. So I definitely need some melee damage for our thief daggers because currently we're relying entirely on the base damage and have actually decreased the base damage of our thief daggers quite a bit. I also need more luck so that when we kill these trees, we're more likely to get crates out of them. Because, of course, with the cryptid, every time you kill a tree, you lose 12 materials. Or rather, you lose 9 materials because you get 3 out of the tree, but then lose the 12 that you would have gotten at the end of the wave for the cryptid. But if those drop enough crates, then that is still a positive expected value. I'll take the ice cube because we do want to burn enemies eventually, and we'll take the spyglass. We'll take 9 more dodge, going up to 32 dodge, which is pretty good. Here, I'm going to take the Gentle Alien, and I think I'll buy Riposte as well, because we're at negative melee damage, so even though this is a pretty horrible way to buy melee damage, we just need whatever we can get. And then Little Muscly Dude is perfect. Now we're at positive melee damage. We can buy this Lost Duck as well. I'm going to re-roll again. Oh, I really wish I could have bought the Pearl there, but I'll take the Charcoal, and then we won't re-roll because we can't lock items. Do I buy the jelly? Given that I can't lock items, I think I do need to just buy items, even inefficient ones, as they show up in ways that we can buy them. Because otherwise we're just going to be wasting a lot of money every wave. Oh yeah, the Ice Cube works with our Tyler as well, so that's really nice. I should be killing the eggs and the Hatcher if possible, because we're a Thief Dagger build, so we don't want high health enemies on the field. We just want to kill as many things as possible, so we're not worried about... So we should be trying to keep the field a little clearer. All right, there we go. Collect 100 fruits while at maximum health. We got the pop-up. So that's perfect. I had done a few in a test run just to make sure that, you know, all my audio and everything was good. So not all of those were in this run, but we did manage to get it. Now I no longer have to strive to stay full health all the time, which is going to let me play a lot more aggressively. So that's nice. Obviously, my priority here is going to be to get the unlocks and try the new stuff more than to play the perfectly optimal cryptid run. Although, as it happens, we're having a really good cryptid run anyways. We'll buy Fairy, Defective Steroids, and Boxing Glove, and then roll. Cursed Baby Elephant, that's a pretty nice one. If I buy it, I can still buy the Metal Plate, but not the coffee. I really want these 3 items, and we can only buy 2 of them. With 0 armor, the Metal Plate is the most important by far. And I think I'll buy the cursed item, although the coffee would still be really good here. And then I can't lock items. So I would like a scared sausage or an incendiary turret, because that would be an easy way to burn 30 enemies in a single wave. Obviously, if we don't get that on this run, we can just fire up a mage run in order to proc that achievement very, very quickly. And you can see now that we are in the kind of mid-game, we've got some luck, we have a bunch of bags, we have a treasure map as well. With the cryptid, we're going to transition to just breaking as many of these trees as we can, because we don't care about keeping them alive for the 12 materials. We would much rather have the chance of dropping crates. Now, once you've dropped a couple random crates, the chance of dropping random crates decreases. So each crate that you've randomly dropped during the wave decreases the chance of future crates. So once we get like 3 crates, I will stop breaking trees. I'm going to take the pencil here just because we have the fairy, so it gives us a regeneration. And then Shady Potion, that's great. And I'll take... I'm going to reroll. I'm going to look for dodge or armor, although 15 luck is also really good. Let's take the baby squid for sure, and we'll take the helmet. Do I want black belt? It cost me 8 luck, which is pretty painful, since, of course, a lot of our income is coming from crate drops. On the other hand, the melee damage is good, the XP gain is good, even with Quad Scar, so I think we will take the black belt. I'm going to roll here, and Warrior Helmet's the most important of these, and again, we can't lock items. So we'll buy the Warrior Helmet and the Penguin, and then go to the next wave. If we had Pocket Factory, I would have prioritized the Lighthouse a little more, but we don't yet have a Pocket Factory, although that will be a high priority purchase if we see it. Hoping to get the rewind. That would be really fun. Alright, so we've dropped 1 crate so far. And remember, I don't have to stay full health anymore. So I'm happy to just run at the enemies to try to maximize my Thief Dagger income here. But mostly I just need to hit 70 dodge and 100 crit chance, which we will be able to get, I would expect, fairly easily. This is a very high economy run, because we're Thief Daggers, so we should be able to make that work. I will lose 4 crit chance for the metal, that's just a lot of stats, but I'm going to recycle the toolbox, and I'll take the lens just for the 1 regeneration. We'll take crit chance over attack speed. The attack speed would actually be quite a bit better, but, you know, we have a goal here. And then I'm going to roll and roll again, and we'll take 9 more dodge, because that gets me closer to 70. I'll take a Cute Monkey. Again, that's good healing, and then we'll re-roll here. Spyglass in multiples, Spyglass gets a lot better, so I'll take that. I'll take the wheelbarrow and the landmines, and then do a reroll. We apparently have positive knockback, so I guess I'll take the coil, because our percent damage is pretty low. Improving that seems really good. And then I'm going to roll again and buy a Thief Dagger upgrade. Can't lock the turret, although I probably would if I was allowed to. Instantly take just like way too much damage from that elite. I'm actually just going to run away from the elite now, because I put myself in a terrible position by walking into it and just tanking 1,000,000 damage. And of course, Thief Dagger is a low-range weapon. The Cryptid has really low range, so fighting elites on this character when you're not wildly ahead on stats is a little more difficult. So we're not going to bother. I've got very low armor. My regen is okay. Or it is quite good, but we just don't have the stats to try to kill the elite easily. Once we're dropping consumables, I can heal up much more readily through it, so later elites will be able to fight without any problems. Only 1 crate that wave. I will take the tractor. That's just more harvesting, and we'll take the cake as well. And then here, let's re-roll. All right, 12 dodge. That gets me to 62 dodge. I'll take a power generator. I currently don't have any movement speed, but we will buy movement speed at a pretty high priority. That was also part of why it was hard to fight that elite. Really interesting setup here. So I can, if I buy the tentacle, I can't buy anything else. So it's 1 of tentacle or baby squid, or I can buy Thief Dagger and bait. We've got 37 regen, so the baby squid is the best item for us. Tentacle helps with my quests to hit 100 crit chance, but I think that Thief Dagger and bait is going to be the best set of items to buy here. Just, it's the most stat overall. And Thief Dagger gives us more income, bait gives us more damage, which we quite badly need currently. Getting Curse Alien kills is also really important for us because we have a black flag, so every cursed enemy on the field is really good for us, just extra income overall. It's so much nicer not having to try to stay at full health for the achievement, I have to say. It lets me play so much more aggressively and make so much more money off our Thief Daggers. All right, we got 3 crates already, so I'm gonna not break trees as much. Obviously, I'm not gonna worry too much about trying to keep them alive, but we will mostly not break them. Okay, Incendiary Turret. We probably, at this point, are not going to easily be able to burn 30 enemies in one wave, but maybe on a Horde wave, the Incendiary Turret could do that. I'll take a Blood Leech just for more regen. Celery Tea, I think we can safely pass on. We have 1,000,000 XP gain, so we don't need more of it. And if I buy this Dodge, that gets me to 70% Dodge, so that's great. I'll take a Recycling Machine that increases the expected value of our crate drops, which is very important for the cryptid. I'll buy the eye patch just for 3 crit chance, because we need to buy all the crit chance we can get, I think. And then I'm going to roll here. A nail, we have 3 engineering, so the nail is not bad. We'll buy that and the feather. Oh, I didn't need to buy the feather. Okay, buying the feather was pretty bad there. Obviously, we don't need that because we're over our dodge cap. And then I'll take the small magazine because although our percent damage is low, our attack speed is also really bad, so I need to fix that as well. I won't be able to buy anything if I reroll here, so no point in doing that. This wave has a lot of enemies with really high health, so it's not going to be great for our Thief Daggers. But we have 70% dodge, and we have a fairy, so our regen is good. We have a jerky, and more consumable healing as well. So our consumable healing is great. So we can fairly safely run at a bunch of enemies. I did have to back off there because we missed like 4 dodges in a row with a 70% chance to dodge, but that will happen sometimes. And our defensive stats are good enough that we were able to survive, even though we got pretty unlucky on a bunch of consecutive dodges. Not getting any crates this wave, unfortunately. That does hurt. I'll take the lighthouse when it shows up like this, I think, because then the lighthouse actually makes it maybe possible for our incendiary turret to burn 30 enemies. And it takes 6 melee damage because our damage output is really bad right now. We'll buy the coupon and the coffee. Campfire, I do want more regen, but I don't want to reduce my move speed. I don't care about elemental damage, so we'll roll past it. We'll buy coffee and baby gecko. We'll roll here. Muscly dude I'll take, and hedgehog. It's just 2 damage, but that's probably worth buying. Then I'm going to do a reroll, and I wish I could buy the metal plate. Do I want claw tree or a thief dagger upgrade more? Getting to 100 crit chance in the next few waves is going to be kind of tough. So I think I will take the claw tree. I think leveling our weapons is important, but I do want to buy as much crit chance as I can get to the plus 100. All right. Oh, I like the new graphic for enemies burning to death. I don't know. Yeah, so you can see there, enemies have a burning graphic. That is cool. Really love that. And I'm going to let the incendiary turret try to cook stuff. Hopefully it does count for burning 30 enemies. And it doesn't require it to be elemental burning damage. I love when there's so many enemies on the field and you're just killing so many things that the game's audio just stops. It just gives up. That's one of my favorite things in this game. Our healing is so good because of all of our consumable healing that we can just run at all of these enemies. And with 70% dodge, we're not dying. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get 30 kills with our incendiary turret there. So we didn't get the unlock. That means that probably Incendiary Turret doesn't work for the unlock, because I do think I got 30 kills just from burning damage that wave. I mean, the incendiary turret, it's dealt 11k damage, and most of that was last wave. I'll take the vigilante ring. We do need any percent damage we can get, so even though that's a pretty expensive way to buy it, we'll buy it anyways. I don't need range anymore at all, not that I ever really did. We'll take the blindfold here, and then we'll reroll. We'll buy a thief dagger. Do I want a medal? I think because we're trying... Medal is the correct purchase here to make the character stronger, but since we are trying to get to 100 crit chance, we're going to pass on the medal. Banner I will also pass on because I have coil, so it costs me 5% damage. And then I will buy the thief dagger upgrades. We'll do a reroll here. Okay, so scared sausage, I guess that's a way that we can potentially try to get that unlock. Sure, we'll buy it. I don't think we're going to play around it. I think we're much more likely not to get that unlock in this run and have to do a mage run or something for it, but that's okay. And then Scar I will buy as well. The Poisonous Tonic, of course, would be great if we could afford it. Or if we could lock it, but we can't lock items this run. Okay, so it has a different color scheme. Yeah, I really like that graphic for burning enemies. I will say some of the visual choices that they've made in terms of the menus feel to me like a lot of clutter, and I'd like to see those refined. But this is a visual choice I can really get behind. That one's really good. So, enemies, of course, are not getting burnt to death here. I guess I'll take the banner when it shows up in a crate, though. Although it is costing me 4% damage, or 5% damage, which is pretty painful, the attack speed is still really good. And then here, we're going to take 8 melee damage, and we'll buy another Thief Dagger upgrade. I'll buy 3 more crit chance. Let's go ahead and reroll. The crystal, we will never get to keep this buff, so I'm going to pass on that. I don't think we need Baby Squid or Metal Detector, and I really want to roll for... Oh, I can't buy the drill. No! No! How many weapons would I have to sell to buy the drill here? So it would be... It's 429, so I would need to sell 3 Thief Daggers, and then we could buy the drill. Let's do it. It does hurt my my crit chance, but this is a precise weapon. And drill is so much fun, so we're going to go ahead and buy that. I can't even lock that Thief Dagger that's also in the shop there. It also makes it significantly harder for me to reach my goal of 100 crit chance, because now we have to rebuy 2 precise weapons. I should also show off the drill text for people who haven't actually seen this weapon in play before. It's basically a super Thief Dagger. Yeah, so I think our incendiary turret is just burning lots of stuff and is not counting for the achievement, unless the achievement is just going to pop at the end and hasn't popped during the run. I'll take the lemonade here for sure. I think we can recycle blood leech. I'm fine on 53 regen, and although losing 3 armor is bad, getting to positive damage is amazing here. And then we're going to take 5% crit chance, and then let's look at the drill. So this weapon does scales with 100% of melee and engineering, and has a massive crit chance, 50% base crit chance, plus our 50% crit stat. And then when you kill an enemy with a critical hit, it always gives you a material. You also gain attack speed every 5 seconds until the end of the wave. So it's just an awesome item. We'll take the leather vest here. Beanie, that gets our move speed positive, which is great, although I am gonna, I think, just make that negative immediately. Then I'll take the muscly dude, and then roll. We'll buy another leather vest, and then roll. And then I don't need the peacock or blood donation, so let's re-roll those. Clockwork Wasp gets my move speed back to positive, and then we don't really need a cute monkey here, so let's buy a corrupted shard, and then we'll go fight the elite. I gotta find some weapons, though. Having only 4 weapons on wave 18 is really funny. So if I don't find 50% more crit chance in the next couple shops, then we'll keep going into endless mode so we can get the 100% crit chance upgrade. Because this is going to be faster than trying to restart with like the crazy or something that gets really high crit chance and trying to make that work. And then if we haven't gotten the mage upgrade, we will do... Or if we haven't gotten the burning achievement unlocked by our incendiary turret, we'll do a mage run to make that happen. Here, I got Sift's Relic, obviously a great item for us, and Fuel Tank, we don't have any use for elemental damage, really. Landmines, I don't really need another one. I'm going to recycle it, and then let me roll for crit chance here. Roll for crit chance. Roll for crit chance. Come on, game. Okay, 9% crit chance. Finally found it. I'll take the head injury and the mushroom, and then we'll do a reroll. Gentle Alien, Cursed Gentle Alien, that's a nice one. And I'll buy Pocket Factory as well. I'm going to pass on these two because I really need more weapons. I'll take a knife. That's a fine weapon. It's a precise weapon for us. And then we'll buy the Blindfold because that is, of course, 5% more crit chance. And then we'll go to wave 19. I would rather more Thief Daggers, but any melee precise weapon I'm pretty happy with here. Because we're really just buying it for the critical hit. At this point, enemies simply have too much health for our burning damage to kill them, so I could have built some elemental damage to try to get our Scared Sausage to kill stuff, but it just won't. So we're going to be better off just focusing on getting to 100% crit chance, and then we'll do a quick mage run to unlock the last achievement, and I think that should be the last one. And then we'll get to take a look at those items. Oh, I would have loved to kill that that curse alien there. Sure, I'll take a plant. Sunglasses, amazing find, exactly what we're looking for. Compass, we're recycling. Gummy Berserker, we're recycling. Triangle of Power, we're recycling because it's just too difficult to make that work for this very short-range character. We're going to do some rerolls. I'm looking for critical hit chance, of course. And do I want 9 speed? No, I think I really just need any crit chance. I'll take the level 1 crit. That's fine. And then I will just reroll in the shop until we hopefully get enough crit chance. The sniper gun is a precise weapon, so it's worth 3% crit for us, but I'm going to pass on it. I feel like we can do better. We're going to roll past here. Oh, actually, I should have bought the mirror, because then when I found a critical hit item, I could have doubled it. Scarf, that's a really good item for us, and it does look like I am going to have to go into Endless to get the crit chance, so I will buy the Cursed Scarf here. Alright, well here's a Blindfold. We'll take a Dangerous Bunny, because I may need to do even more rerolls later on, and then we'll do some more rerolling, and rerolling, and rerolling. Starfish, of course, is really good for Endless Mode, but we're not trying to make a good Endless Mode character. We're trying to get 12% more crit chance. So, yeah, we'll buy the Energy Bracelet, and then we'll roll, and we'll roll again here, and I can't lock anything, so let's go ahead and go to Endless Mode. it should count as winning the run as soon as I get through wave 20 here. So for the win a run on Danger 3 or higher achievement, going to endless mode shouldn't disrupt that, I don't think. Hopefully not anyways. It's been so long since I've unlocked items in Brotato, I honestly don't remember how it works. Focus on killing the bosses here. Cryptid is a pretty bad endless mode character, unfortunately, because even though you have the 70% dodge cap, which is really nice, increased dodge cap is one of the strongest stats a character can have for endless mode, so Ghost is pretty good. Minus 50% materials from enemies is just too devastating too quickly. It just completely ruins your economy. We've only gotten, okay, no, we've gotten 2 green crates this wave. I saw the 2 red crates, but only the 1 green crate, which on a 90-second wave, as the cryptid, when we've got so many trees spawning, would have been pretty below par. Go ahead and recycle here. Sure, I'll take the extra stomach, just in case. And I guess I'll take the eye surgery. Maybe we'll end up hitting the random chance of getting that, but I think we're just going to be able to buy enough crit chance, because I just need to find any more critical hit item here, and then we've got the 100% crit chance thing, and then we're going to go to wave 21 and try to die to the enemies. If I hit end the run, does that count as winning? It probably does. So let's go ahead and just end the run here. And there we go. Okay, so we unlocked 3 items. We've got Fruit Basket. Limited 0 out of 4. Enemies have a higher chance of dropping fruits. Minus 3 health regeneration. A higher chance, I would like for it to tell me what the chance is, so I can calculate whether that's good or not, but probably that's going to be a good item for most characters. Higher chance of dropping fruits is really good, especially if it then also gives you a higher chance of dropping crates, because the way that the game mostly calculates crates, usually, I don't know if they've made an exception for Fruit Basket, is that when an enemy drops a consumable, that consumable has a chance of turning into a crate, so this will also be an economy item. Candy Bag. Each wave grants 8 points randomly split between your primary stats. Okay, so randomly split between all of these stats. Each wave, 10% chance to spawn an additional elite. That is an awesome item. It is a little bit high risk, because extra elites, if you get it early, you might not be ready to fight an elite, but if you get 8 points and like 3 of them happen to land on armor, that will just instantly win that run. Obviously, there's a lot of dead stats that you can roll as well, but mostly just a 10% chance to spawn an elite is just a good thing by itself. So even discounting the stats, I think this will be a pretty strong item. Ghost Outfit. Dodge is capped at 70%, plus 10% dodge, minus 5 speed, minus 3 armor. I think this item will be obviously very important for endless mode. 10% higher dodge cap is incredible. Does this give you a 100% chance to dodge as the ghost? Okay, no, its dodge is capped at 70%, not dodge cap increases by 10%. Okay. So, as the ghost, you can't buy the ghost outfit unless they've coded an exception to overwrite that with the ghost's better dodge cap. But having higher dodge cap makes dodge really valuable. Getting 10% dodge all at once is incredible as well. And the penalties are really bad, but this is going to be very efficient for any character that's buying dodge. Let's go ahead and go back to the main menu here, and we will check our progress and see which ones I still need to unlock. Where is that showing? Yeah, here we go. So we just need kill 30 enemies by burning them. It also didn't show me the other unlocks that we got. It only showed 3 of them, but we unlocked actually 5 things in that run. So let's look at that. The ban system. So I had seen a note about this. You can now ban items and prevent them from showing up in the shop. Currently, this is in, I think, extreme beta testing. where you can ban up to 8 items just throughout the whole run, and they won't show up in the shop. It's items only, not weapons, because if you could ban weapons, it lets you just level your weapons super, super easily. But a ban system is really interesting and will let you much more carefully curate your builds, especially as they add more items to the game. I think it's important that they implement something like this to keep you finding interesting items that you actually want, despite there being just more items available. We also got the Vorpal Sword. So this is a level 2 minimum weapon. 20 base damage, that's not bad. 1.11 second cooldown, alternates between thrusting and sweeping attacks, and 1% chance to one-shot the target when hitting it. No, it won't let me. I have to very carefully do that to get to scroll this down. I don't know if the chance to one-shot increases. I guess we'll have to buy this item and find out, but that is a very cool item. A very cool weapon. This could be just broken if you can get a lot of them and just one-shot every elite and boss. It also seems like a not bad weapon to just add in to a normal run. Blade and Medieval are pretty good weapon tags, so this just seems like a pretty solid weapon overall. Got 100% melee damage scaling and good base damage, so just a solid weapon, kind of cool addition. All right, let's go ahead and we'll do a mage run very quickly in order to unlock the next thing. And here we're going to go with, I guess I want just like burning damage from my items here. So let's go with, I'll go with Torch. Torch is going to be the fastest way to do this. Unlike Wave 2, every enemy that we kill is going to die to burning. Actually, I should have done this in Crash Zone, because on the Abyss, enemies have... There's these enemies with 1 HP, and those will obviously not die right away. Let me roll here. I'm looking for elemental damage, because the mage can buy harvesting, but we just want to get our elemental damage up, because we're just going for the unlock. All right, I missed a million times, so we'll go with 5% damage. We'll buy a torch, and this is very cool. So you can see here, I could buy... I could ban some items. I wouldn't want to ban either Scar or Mutation. In fact, we would lock the Scar here. Mutation, probably worth locking as well, just for the elemental damage, but let's see if I can find something that I do want to ban. Lost Duck, I wouldn't want to ban either, even though it costs me elemental damage, just because it's a good item, so we'll roll here. Same with Propeller Hat, which actually I would lock. Then I'm going to roll and buy a torch, and roll again, looking to lock more torches, which we missed on, but that's okay. So trying to set as many things on fire as possible and then just wait for them to tick once and die. And we should get 30 enemies this wave, I think. If not, we'll definitely get it next wave. Just depends on how many enemies spawn each wave. All right, there we go. Got the unlock pop-up. So I'm going to immediately end this run and go get our unlock. Okay, so Will-O-Wisp. +1 elemental damage for every 25 burning enemies you killed during a wave. -7 speed, -2 armor. And it's not limited. So that's going to be... If you get a couple of these, that's going to be infinite elemental damage for elemental builds. That's very cool. So... 25 burning enemies, you'll probably proc this. By the time you get this item, it's going to be about wave 10 or so. So most waves, if you're an elemental build, you will probably proc this 5 or 6 times. So you're going to end up stacking enormous amounts of elemental damage from the Will-O-Wisp. And if you get multiples of these, that could keep elemental damage stacking to absurd quantities in endless mode. So I think that this is going to be a busted item for improving elemental builds, which is good. Elemental builds did need some help still, so a good item for them and like a solid endgame build around item I think is really good. Minus speed and minus armor are very painful penalties, so you won't buy this on characters that don't really use it. you probably won't want to just like work this into one build, but the Will-O-Wisp will be really strong. And given that we now have access to the Will-O-Wisp, I'm definitely going to be doing an elemental build for my next video, which you can stay tuned for tomorrow because we're already at an hour. But this is really exciting. I'm really looking forward to playing more with these new items and with bans, which of course changed the game entirely. But this is a really interesting update. I really like all of these items, I think. The one that I'm concerned about is the Will-O-Wisp, which maybe will be broken for the late game. The rest of these, I think, are really cool. Obviously, the Fruit Basket, it's going to depend on how powerful the stat is. Like, what the actual increase to chances is with the Fruit Basket. But the rest of these items all seem like they have their place, but aren't completely broken or overpowered. So I am liking the balance and the updates that we've seen so far. I will say they need to do a little bit of QA here. Oh, actually, this one doesn't say, it no longer says unlock more informations, because it used to say that. Oh, here we go. Kill one more to get more informations on this enemy. Obviously, they need to do a little bit of proofreading while this is in beta, but, you know, it's a beta, so you expect to see some small issues. All right, my friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this look at the New Dawn update for Brotato. As always, of course, if you've enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.